Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. It's Monday, and Monday for now means a deck from another game that I used to play, built for the time period in which I played it. So I can't remember what year I was playing CardFight Vanguard, but one of my favorite things to do, and again, I think this may be important, this was before the overdress sets. We still had like stand triggers and everything. I was still playing like Megacolony. And one of the cool things about Megacolony was, as far as the way they were branded, it was like the Insect Mafia, which was just insane to me. And the cards themselves look great. I think it was Bushi Road dealt with these. Let me grab a card and take a quick peeky pie on the back. It is Bushi Road. And I thought they did a great system with this. And in the beginning, we only had one type of card, and they were like the monsters, the units. And they varied between grades 0 and 3 in the main build. And then we actually, towards the time period which I quit playing, we also had like a G deck, which was up to 8 cards, I believe. Because again, this is 8 cards, and I feel like, I wasn't going to break the rules then over a trading card game because I wouldn't do it now. And these were like grade 4 units that would stack over the grade 3 for a turn. It was essentially our extra deck for this game. So, and again, we didn't have like the ride deck, which I noticed with some of the overdress decks now. Because again, they were really cheap, so I bought a few just to keep goofing off and enjoy some more games. So let me show you guys my deck, the way that it was back then. And we'll just sort of describe a little bit. Not a lot. It's been a while. So again, my starting unit would have been my Larva Mutant Giraffa. And again, he looks really cool. 1/8 card named Pupa Mutant Giraffa rides this unit. Search your deck for up to 1 card named Elite Mutants Giraffa. Reveal it to the opponent. Put it in your hand. Shuffle the deck. And again, we called them ride chains, and they're like Pokemon TCG, this would be like the evolutionary runs, but it's more similar to Digimon because it's not really set in stone. So it was different. And again, we would put this on the Vanguard, which would be the center of the first 3. And then, of course, the front 2 plus the back row 3 would be considered our rear guard units. Again, the front ones being able to attack and rear ones being able to boost if they had a symbol that matches this guy's underneath the grade number. And again, they sort of turn sideways to show that they're attacking, taking their action. And again, if the guy behind him is supporting him, we'll add his power to this power. So if it was 2 of these, I could tap them both or, turn them both sideways. And then I would be able to attack for 10,000 power. Again, I don't need to explain entirely how to play the game. I'm just here to show you guys the way that I did play. Now, the rest of my grade 0s were as follows. I was playing 2 copies of Bad Drip. And these were crit units, which did during drive checks when I was playing offensively. Could add extra damage to my attack, as well as using 2 copies of the Machining Butterfly. Also critical units. My 4 heal units were the Machining Honeybee, which is right here. Again, looks really cool to me. We were using 3 copies of the Makeup Widow. This would be my stand unit. Now, as a stand unit, when this was revealed, it would allow me to write a card up again to get it to be able to attack again. So again, the more stand units that you were able to reveal, the more times you were able to press your attack during a turn. Now, this one also had another effect which made it really cool, which was, again, it was the GB. Again, it's like a Guardian Blast, a turn over something. Activate when your opponent has no standing units in the same column as this. Put this into the Soul, which is underneath your Vanguard. At the end of each turn, you may pay the cost. If you do, I don't remember, Counter Blast or something. Choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or less units, and it cannot stand during the opponent's next stand phase. So basically, it left them open to either being attacked, they couldn't boost, whatever. It was like a tricky bit of paralysis. And then I used another 4 crit units. I was using 2 Sharp Nail Scorpios and 2 Shelter Beetles. So those were all of my grade zeros. Again, you had to have 16 trigger units back then. I don't really remember if that's how it is now. If it is, correct me. If it isn't, still correct me. That's what the comment section's for. And obviously, let me know if you think these guys look cool. Let me clear the field and we'll get out to my grade 2 or grade 1s. And to start those off, we're going to talk about some of the elite mutants. We're going to talk about the elite mutant Trighoul. And again, this guy just looks just amazing. Total anime looking character. Automatic ability as a rear guard. At the beginning of your opponent's ride phase, if your opponent has a unit that is tapped, I'm just going to keep saying tapped. Look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Search for up to 1 with Giraffa in the name or Garafa. Again, I've never heard it pronounced outside of people in a card shop, and I've heard it both ways. So please be gentle. With the card name among them, reveal it to the opponent, add it to hand, shuffle the deck. So it's really like a big Excavate 5 effect from Yu-Gi-Oh! And again, it's going to help me try to get into my ride chain to find my grade 3 as fast as possible to complete the chain. Because again, if I ride into the from the 1 or the 0 to the 1, the 1's effect grabs me at the 2, and we just keep going. Next, new face mutant, little Dorcas. And again, guys, you can't make up these names. They're too fun. This is another automatic effect. Choose a grade 3 from your hand, reveal it. When this is placed on rear guard from hand, you may pay the cost, which was the choosing the revealing of the card. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 grade 3 with Dark Face in its name. Reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand. Shuffle your deck, choose a card from your hand and discard it. Continuous effect while in hand. While you're paying the cost for Stride, this card gets grade +2. And again, when you're paying for the Stride, this is how you get your G units, those grade 4s, out of the extra. Or the Guardian deck. Maybe it was called the Guardian deck. I'm not sure. Next up, we do need to be playing and maximizing out Pupa Mutant Garafa. Because again, this helps us out getting the rest of the effects. If you have a card named Larva Mutant Garafa in your soul, when this card is on Vanguard, this gets an extra 2k. So this will go from being a generic 6 up to a generic 8. Auto effect. Choose a grade 3 Megacolony in your hand, discard it. When this card is placed on rear guard, pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card named Evil Armor General Garafa. Reveal it to your opponent, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. Let's take a quick peek through the rest of my deck. That's actually going to search out our grade 3 anyway. So again, bingo bango. It's going to be pretty good. And then we're going to be running 4 copies of our Perfect Guard Sentinel, the Rebel Mutant Star Shield. So as a Sentinel, you can only control 4 of these in your build at any time. The shield, the defensive, intercept cost, whatever you want to call it, is going to be a 0 value. However, choose a card from your hand, discard it. When this is placed in the Guardian Circle from your hand, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your Vanguards that is being attacked, and it cannot be hit until the end of that battle. So again, it doesn't matter what the opponent's attack strength is going to be, or how many critical units they were able to drive check. There's going to be 0 damage. It's going to be like Karibo meets Wabaku. But again, a Vanguard couldn't get retired the same way a rear guard can. Then if there is a card named Rebel Mutant Star Shield in the drop zone, whatever this is, Counterblast 1, I believe this is you just turn one of your damage back face up, because there were effects that, of course, used that as part of their resource. And again, this is all you need for your grade 1s. And these will be the last of our boost units. So again, let me clear the field. We'll get up to grade 2 and start showing off some intercept units. Alright, starting off the number 2s, we do have an alternate version of Garafa that wasn't originally in the game. This was definitely something I picked up right towards the end of me playing. Was the A-rank mutant Garafa. And again, it still says Garafa, so it's still going to count for some of those effects. So on rear guard, we could activate once per turn. Turn 1 damage card face down. If you have a Vanguard with Garafa in its card name, choose up to one of your opponent's rear guards, tap the unit, and then this gains an extra 2k until the end of the turn, making this one stand up for a full 11,000 on its own. as an effect in the hand. We can discard this card, and if we have a card named Larva Mutant Carafa on our Vanguard circle, search our deck for up to one card with Pupa Mutant Carafa from our deck, ride it as a stand, and shuffle our deck. Ride it is untapped, sorry. And again, what this new symbol here for grade 2 is going to mean is if these guys are somewhere on the board as a rear guard unit outside of our Vanguard circle, this guy can actually step in the way and go to the Guardian circle in front of whatever monster, whether it be rear guard or Vanguard that would be attacked, and also throw up its shield value as a defender. So it doesn't just have to do it from the hand, can do it from the field. And I do not believe that it has to be standing at the time in order to do it. I do believe it can do it from rest, which I think, now that I keep talking, like I'm just coming back to some of these things. Another unit we used was 3 copies of the Cyclic Sickle Mutant Aristocythe. As a Vanguard or a rear guard, it had the effect Dark Device. Activate when the opponent has no standing units in the same column. When this attacks, this unit gets an extra 2k until the end of the battle. And again, since we do have some paralysis abilities, this is going to work out well. And again, when we ride this to rear guard, after our opponent launches an offensive volley, this is really going to help us out there as well. And then last but not least, we are going to run 4 copies of the Elite Mutant Girafa. Again, it's going to be another intercept unit. Continuous Vanguard effect. If you have a card named Pupa Mutant Carafa in the soul, give this an additional 1k power. And again, continuous, so it'll always be a 10k. And an auto Vanguard effect. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, choose one of your opponent's rear guards. That opponent unit cannot stand during their next stand phase. So again, it will remain paralyzed. So again, these are going to be the grade 2s. We're going to clear the field and we'll go over the 2 grade 3s that we use for this build. And of those, the first one we're going to use is going to be the newer version of Girafa, the A-rank Mutant Sand Girafa again. Auto Vanguard or Rear Guard. Maybe it's Counterblast 1. Turning 1 damage card face down. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, if you have a grade 3 or lower greater Vanguard with Girafa in the name, pay cost if you do choose one of your opponent's rear guards, rest it until the end of the opponent's next turn. It gets auto. When this unit is put in the drop zone from rear guard or guardian circle, choose one of your rear guards and retire it, and that unit cannot stand during your opponent's next stand phase. So again, a little bit of paralysis, a little bit of being just a total and absolute jerk. And then, of course, we're going to use the, very strong at 11,000. And then the next one we're going to use, again, 4 copies of, is going to be the Evil Armor Mutant, or Evil Armor General Girafa. Continuous Vanguard again. If the Elite Mutant, is in the soul, give this a continuous 1k. Auto Vanguard, Counterblast 2, and choose up to 2 of your Megacolony rear guards and retire them. When this unit's attack hits a Vanguard, pay that cost. If you did, choose up to 2 of your opponent's grade 1 or less rear guards and retire them. So again, we are trying to get rid of boost units off the field. And again, depending on whether or not they're actual trigger units, they may have an intercept that they can't use on the field of a little bit higher, like a 10k, 5k. But again, we're basically just trying to unarm their boost units when you're performing that effect. Give us another second, we'll clear these, and I'll be back with the grade 4s in the G deck. Alright, and these are going to be in a slightly different color sleeve. Again, I don't know if they would have had to have been same sleeves in order to play back then. Not too sure. And these guys, I picked these up right as I quit playing. I don't even really remember how these ones work. These are grade 4s. These do have 15,000 as their Guardian stack. The effect, G Guardian, usable when both fighters, Vanguards, are grade 3 or greater, and a number of G Guardians in the G zone is 3 or less, being face up. Opponent's turn, guard step, choose a card with heal from the hand, discard it, call this to Guardian Circle from face down. Auto, when this is placed on the Guardian Circle, if the number of your opponent's units in rest is 2 or more, then this gets an extra 5,000 until the end of the battle. So I guess you discarded your heal unit. So in this deck, what did that give us? It was like a 10k shield to use the Machining Honeybee. So instead of doing that, we could generate up to a 20k, depending on how many rest units they had. So again, this was kind of good. Probably the reason I only ran this at 2, but again, maybe I could have only found 2 of these. The name here was Dream Mutant Deity Scarab Gas. So again, not sure. Might have been a great card, but I just played it to play it, for sure. 4 copies of the G unit, grade 4, triple drive, Evil Armor Mutant Deity Goliath. And this is something I forgot to mention with the grade 3s, was their symbol, that little double helix, meant that when they attacked, rather than just flipping the top card, excavating the top card of the deck to reveal whether or not it was a trigger unit before adding it to my hand. A regular unit and an intercept unit, so 0, 1, and 2, only reveal 1. Grade 3s reveal 2. These grade 4s with the triple drive reveal 3. So again, sometimes much easier to get the crits, the stands, the heals, whatever you need, while still giving off the points. Stride step, choose 1 or more cards with the sum of their grades being 3 or greater from the hand and discard them. Just when you stride, you play this card over your Vanguard from face down. As a Vanguard, you can activate this effect once per turn. Turn 1 damage face down. If you have a heart card with Giraffe in the card name. Now, the difference between the heart and the soul is at the end of the turn, this actually goes back to the G area, face up, and cannot be used again. So really what they're saying here is the whatever the grade 3 is, that is going to be your heart. The cards underneath the grade 3 are the soul. So if you do have Giraffe, and again, it's all our grade 3s in this deck, then you get to choose up to 6 of your units with Giraffe on the name, and until the end of the turn, they get the continuous Vanguard or Rear Guard ability during your turn. If all of your opponent's Vanguards and Rear Guards are at rest, this unit gets 5,000 in auto. Vanguard or Rear Guard, when this attacks a Vanguard, choose up to 1 of the opponent's Rear Guards, and that unit may not stand during the opponent's next stand phase. So again, we do get some extra power. We do get to press the attack. We do get to cause cards to stay at rest. So again, huge bonuses. Last 2 cards we're going to use. Poison Spear, Mutant Deity, Pear Spear. Stride, same thing. We're going to have to pitch cards with the total grade being 3 or more in order to stride this over our card from face down. Auto effect, when this is placed on Vanguard, actually rest all of your opponent's units. If the number of rest units your opponent has is 3 or more, you do get to draw a card, and then this unit will get an additional 5,000 until the end of the turn. So the last thing I need to explain is this 15k plus. Just real quick, if you're dealing with, and again, this is going to be either one of them, because between San Giraffe and the Evil Armor Giraffe, what's going to end up happening is this should be played off the grade 2 Giraffe, the Elite Mutant. So this should be 11,000. This should be always at 11,000. They're going to add the plus 15. So that means they're going to be at 26,000 with a triple drive. And again, with the Paraspear, potentially adding another 5,000 before any drive triggers are found. So again, that's 2631 plus potential of 3 trigger units. So again, it was definitely fun. Again, I'm not so sure how well this would have stood up. We really did just play more or less for fun in my area. And this was one of my last decks when I actually played to play. The other deck I played a lot of, and if you guys want to see it, I probably won't show it on here though, was just a slightly modified version of one of the G decks, which came with a full G build, whatever, the full 8 cards for the extra deck. And it was Shadow Paladins. So, I mean, I also used Legion in that one, which was kind of cool. But again, I really like the Shadow Paladins, but I felt that this really showed off a little more of what I was about while I was playing this game. And again, guys, if you guys still play this, let me know. Is this game still fun? I still collect some of the decks when I see them, and just for the heck of it. And let me know. Maybe this is still really big in your area, or maybe it's not. Maybe you guys didn't play it at all. Or maybe you guys want to see a different game next week and you've got a request. And if I've played it, maybe I'll bring the deck out. If not, we're going to get into Common Charity tomorrow. I'm going to redo the Lightsworn, something I've been talking about doing since the Fallout of Albaz structure deck. It's very slight mods. We're not going to do any test hands for that this week. Instead, we've got a deck from a viewer submission. And right now, I think it's going to be one of the last 2 viewer submissions here for a little while. Looking forward a little more to some challenges. So if you guys got a deck that you guys would like to see, if I've got the cards, I'd like to do that for you. Again, Speed Duel, probably going to be easier for me since I do have roughly every card in the game. But if not, whatever. And then we're going to try an older OTK that really belongs as a glass cannon status because it's not super consistent, but it is amazing amounts of fun to watch your opponent go, what did you just do? And why does that even do something anymore? So check back in later this week for those. And outside of that, guys, have a great day, all right? Hopefully I get to see you guys later. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. So later.